what's the geopolitical and national interest POV point of view significance of Prime Minister Modi openly acknowledging a heavy price that he's ready to pay to protect farmers, fishermen, and dairy interests? Isn't such a personal cost massive even to contemplate in today's geopolitical chessboard? Ashish says, what personal cost did Prime Minister Modi hint towards when he declared that he will do whatever it takes to protect India's sovereignty? Is that a coup that he's referring to? A regime change, assassination? What are our options going forward? What are our options going forward now that we have refused to be vassalized? Kind of feeling proud about it, to be honest. Potato Praiser says Mr. Modi in his recent speech said that he will even have to bear a personal cost for not agreeing to open the farm sector for US companies. Does this hint that Prime Minister Modi was possibly threatened to that somebody may restart the regime change activities which were going on during the Biden regime? Yeah, interesting set of questions. Prime Minister Modi recently made a statement, very brief statement. He briefly said that he is prepared to pay whatever price is required to protect India's sovereignty, and he will have to potentially possibly bear a significant personal cost for this. That's what he said. That's what Prime Minister said. Mr. Modi said. So what does he mean by this? That's the question that everyone's wondering about. That's kind of a cryptic statement. And he did not mention what kind of price he's talking about, what kind of personal price he will have to bear. So and Ashish is saying, what does it mean? Is it a coup? Is it a regime change operation? Assassination attempt? What exactly is it? Right? That's the question. And Ashish says he's feeling proud that we have refused to be vassalized. Well, I'm personally feeling very happy and very proud that India has refused to be vassalized. It's the easy option. Just cave in to the Americans, do whatever they say, and everything is hunky and dory. And Prime Minister gets, special treatment by Mr. Trump. You are invited to the US and you're given very, super red carpet treatment, and you treated like a personal friend and all that. So that's the easy way out. But Prime Minister Modi said, I will not go for that. India has to remain a sovereign nation. We will not be an American vassal. We will be nobody's vassal. And we are seeing the consequences of that. All the tariffs, all the tantrums, the cozying up to Pakistan, and all of that is a consequence of that. It indicates that we have refused to be vassalized, and that is really commendable. I'm so proud that we have a leader who has stood up to the US. It's not often that we have leaders who do that in this country, in our history since 1947. Right? We are standing up on our own. So that's the thing. So what personal cost, what personal price may the Prime Minister have to potentially pay? What was it referring to? You may see. So, and what are the options that you gave? Sovereignty, coup, regime change, assassination. You know what? During the 2024 elections, there was foreign interference in the elections, in the electoral process. No question about it. There was foreign interference. There were huge, consistent, ongoing, daily attacks, attempts by the Western media to sway the election in a certain direction, to favor a certain, political dispensation in India. And it was all anti-Modi, anti-BJP. This is external interference in India's democratic process, sovereign democratic process. And the Western media, we all know who controls that. I mean, do I have to beat around the bush? No, it's the US. It's the US, right? So they tried to influence the course of the election in 2024, right? The farmer protests, the Delhi riots, all of that was instigated by a foreign power, exactly when Trump was visiting India. It was all instigated by a foreign power. The Americans have this policy of subnational diplomacy, of engaging in subnational diplomacy in India, which is what? Nothing but essentially trying to create fissures in India's makeup. It's essentially a long-term plan to balkanize India. What is Project K, Cookie Land for Christ? That is an American project. The civil war in Burma, that also is a proxy war between essentially the US and China. So regime change? Yeah, potentially. We don't know. See, it is now being said by the Western media that the relationship between the two countries, India and the US, it nosedived after a tense, like 20 or 30-minute phone call between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump during Operation Sindoor. So I'm not sure what conversation happened, what Mr. Trump may have threatened. It looks like some threats were issued. It looks like that. We don't know. We don't have the readout of the conversation. It obviously is not meant for public consumption. But I'll tell you what, I've said this before many times. Diplomacy is very nice in the public domain. The public diplomacy is always very courteous, very polite, or kind of frosty at times. But behind closed doors, diplomacy is all about bullying, arm twisting, issuing naked threats. That's what diplomacy is like behind closed doors. It's not the nice stuff that you see on camera. So I don't know what conversation happened and what threats may have been issued, but looks like some threats were issued. Threats to the country, threats to Mr. Modi potentially, personally, we don't know. But that's how it goes. So if you are the prime minister of a country, you essentially, well, you have to be willing to pay any price that's required for in order to preserve the security and the sovereignty of a country. And so that's possibly what Mr. Modi was talking about. I think when it comes to threats, all options are on the cards. If you look at the history of American actions against countries they don't like, you will say that all potential options are on the table. So I think that's what Mr. Modi was referring to.